I can get through this, like, I can get through anything. And it's true. Like, I was like, if this is like as bad as it gets, then that's.
And then you met me.
No.
All right. Episode 12. It's kind of crazy. This
is episode 12?
Yeah. So
wow.
Sam was episode 10. Then I had an actor, John Potvin was last week, and then you're this week, and then John Demers is next week, and then Seth Chitwood wants to be on, and then there's like a whole bunch of people that want to be on.
Cool.
Which is cool.
Sounds like
but I had to get my Bluff Boys in first, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've just already recorded podcasts before here, so
yeah, but like I'm like super close with you guys. How was the drive up?
Oh, it was fine.
Yeah, but the reason that I want to have you on, just you, because you asked, we talked about having all three Bluff Boys on.
Yeah,
and I want to, but I wanted to have just you because I had Andrew for a few of them. He's going to be coming back, I'm sure. And then I had Sam, who came on and talked to me for 3 hours, and it was like it's like probably one of my favorite episodes so far.
Nice.
It's really good. To it. And then I was like, well, if Colin's, it'd be almost like more weird if I had Andrew and then Sam and then all three of you, but I didn't have one with just you.
Yeah. I mean, that's
sense?
fair. I think.
So then we will have one where we have, because I have more mics. Like we'll have the one with all three Bluff Boys. But I just figured I would give you the opportunity to come in. I had, as you saw, I had Ryan and Billy on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going through the whole like gambit. So how you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Why are you nervous? Are you nervous?
No.
Okay.
I'm fine.
I know you're like not much of a talker, but you can.
That was the only reason why I was like, yeah, maybe like they should be on it, just because I wasn't sure how much I would talk.
Yeah,
but I feel like
that's
I would
bullshit, though. We talk about shit all the
Yeah.
time, especially if it's just like a regular conversation. It's not a big deal. Plus, I like making you laugh because I say some horrendous shit and then you can't handle it. You just start laughing.
That's true.
What have you been up to, man? Do you want to like talk about? Can you tell? Can you like tell us who you are, what you do?
I guess
for the general viewer, because like by now
we don't know me. Yeah, my name's Colin Munson, and I also work in the film industry and do like a lot of camera work and a lot of grip work, and I've done other things as well, but those are kind of my main areas.
Yeah, super humble. I would be like cinematographer extraordinaire.
Those are the places that I get work in the most.
Yeah.
Not necessarily what I am, I guess. Yeah, cinematographer is more like what I
aspire
think of myself as, being or becoming,
Right. Well, okay, so there's like two sides of it. So I want to talk about like funny set stuff, and that's okay if you've like PA'd on a set somewhere. We can talk, and you have a funny story from it. Like we can definitely talk about that. Mm-hmm. But I also, on the other like flip side, like I want to talk about what you want to do like with your life and who you are. You know what was really cool about the Sam episode? And we're recording this like super early.
Yeah.
So like that doesn't drop for a minute, but at the end of it, like we like hugged. Like I felt like I like knew him like so much better than I ever like knew him before, which is cool.
Well,
so
in our podcast, like in the Bluff Boys podcast, he was also doing what Andrew was doing, where he was totally just like playing a character.
I know.
But
that's why I like the last episode that Andrew was on.
Because he was just being himself.
Because he was just finally just talking. Like, like you can't keep up the facade for like ever. Like you gotta like talk a little bit. You know?
He's gonna do it no matter what. But
I feel like.
But if you can get him going on something, then it's I don't know. You can listen to it, I guess.
Yeah, I like it. I like it when he opens up and talks about his past life and all that other crap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? So, I don't know. We can start like at the beginning.
The very beginning?
Not
I don't know. How far back do you want to go?
Well, okay, so like Sam and I talked about this, was like, it was a cool conversation because it's weird because now I've had actors on too, so like I try and like figure out a way to talk that like makes sense. You didn't do any acting or anything, right?
Me?
Yeah, like in school, like or anything. You never trying to be an actor, were you?
No, I was never trying to be an actor, and I've acted a lot more than I wanted to.
Right, but it comes from a place of wanting to make movies.
Yeah, it comes from
as opposed to wanting to act.
Exactly. Like I just wanted to make stuff.
Right.
And like we have like a funny idea. It's like, okay, I can't really find anybody else who would do something this stupid.
Right.
So
right,
like,
right. Yeah,
you know, like that was the whole thing with the Bluff Boys was Andrew and I were just like, we were just living together. And so we would just come up with like ideas and we would just make them in like one night.
They're so funny.
We literally would write the whole thing, shoot it, and like he would just stay up all night and like finish editing it.
That's awesome.
That was how it started.
How old are you now?
26.
Okay, yeah, same as Andrew.
Yeah.
Can you like imagine like back when you like guys first when you first met and you like could stay up all night? Have you felt it yet? Like I'm a little bit older, 29, but still like
I can't stay up all night.
Yeah, like I can occasionally. I'm a night owl, so I'm usually up pretty late anyway. But the whole like pulling all-nighters, editing, and all that stuff, like, dude, gets tired.
I can
really
do
quick.
it.
Yeah,
but I just know the effects that's gonna have on me for like the rest of the week.
Yeah,
You know,
like it messes you up.
because I'll do overnights on stuff too, and I always know that it's gonna mess me up for the rest of the week.
Yeah, that's fair.
It.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know, man. I could wake up on like a Monday morning when I was like 18, 19. I could wake up on a Monday morning, go hang out with some friends. Let's say I'm like shooting a video or something like that, and then party all afternoon, shoot the video, and edit with like a drink, you know, next to the keyboard while I'm like talking to people all night long. Then continue, and then just go on with Tuesday.
Yeah,
can't do that anymore.
No.
And it's only been like in a decade. Yeah, we're done. We peaked at right out of high school. That's nice. That's good. No, but I mean, like, go back to the beginning. Like, where did you? It was a cool question that I asked Sam, which was like, was there a defining moment where you were like, I want to make movies? I asked Ryan and Bill really quick. I asked Ryan and Billy this too, and part of the reason I was asking them was because I wanted to know more. Like, you would agree, when you think about like making movies, you think about like a camera, you know? You think about the guy with the sound thing, but nobody ever wants to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like, you don't aspire to be the boom operator, essentially.
Maybe you do. I
mean, maybe, but I'm saying like the kid, if you ask a bunch of first graders and you say, how do you make a movie? They're going to hold up a camera, they're going to do this thing.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think later on you realize how like specialized everything
110%, but I'm saying like back
in the beginning,
when you were younger, or I don't know,
like how did I start doing it, or
what made you want to do it?
I guess what made me really want to do it was like, I don't know, when I found out that it was even like something that I could like go to college for. It's like I don't think I really knew what I wanted to do. Before that, and I liked making videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So then when I found out that was like something you could do as like your major, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna do that because I'm not gonna do math. I'm not gonna do history.
Right. You're not gonna be a doctor.
English, like none of that stuff's really for me.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd give it a shot.
Yeah. Were you like artsy growing up when you were like younger?
No.
Sporty? Like what was your deal? What was your thing?
I was definitely sporty. Like I played soccer.
Oh, okay, cool.
That was my like main sport.
Yeah.
I played a lot of sports and stuff, but so like no, I wasn't that artsy. But I got into editing through doing like literally the first stuff I edited was like video game montages.
Oh,
That was
really?
like the first thing that I ever did because I didn't have a camera.
Right.
So I wasn't like making movies with like friends or anything. I did do that. Like the first time I ever saw like editing software was like some friends of mine, like we made some videos like in his backyard, you know.
Yeah.
And then like he sat down on the computer the next day and like had some really, you know, basic editing software, but
Windows
I thought it
Movie
was
Maker,
like
iMovie thing.
I feel like it was something different than that, but it wasn't too much more advanced
Right.
than those. And I just thought it was like very cool.
Isn't it weird when you like, I don't mean like hopeless, but like directionless almost. Like you play soccer, you're just existing and you're okay. Like you're happy. I'm not saying that you're depressed and it's a whole horrible thing, but you don't, like, oh, you're going to be a brain surgeon someday. No, I don't want to do that. But you don't really know what you want to do. And then you kind of stumble upon something, like you see that editing software screen or you see something's possible and you're like, I could do that. Like that's kind of fucking cool. Like that little spark in you. You know what
it was
I mean?
something that I was just interested in.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool. And then like I just wanted to learn how to like use it and like do it. And like there would be all these like these montage things that I would see online, like on YouTube.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to make one for myself, like, and so I got into it. And like at that time, you know, you had to have like an extra device, like a capture card.
Yeah.
To be able to record it. So I just like I think I bought one off my friend for like $20 maybe, and because he had used it, and then like the quality on it wasn't very good, you know. It was like pretty low quality, but I was able to make one and use like Windows Movie Maker. And then I ended up buying I bought one for myself that was like you could record in HD.
Yeah.
And
it's a sickness.
And I bought like some like not full version of Sony Vegas, like it was like $60 maybe.
Yeah.
And I just made videos using that.
Yeah.
And so that's how I learned how to like use that software.
The amount of like crazy softwares I have used over the years since Windows Movie Maker has been insane. With the Windows Movie Maker with the blue screen and the white letters.
Yeah.
To like
you always go back to it. You know?
Always. Super simple. Always. Yeah. No, you go like I've done Windows Movie Maker.
That's what you edit the podcast on, right?
Yeah. Cut to blue screen. Colin Munson in quotes, you know?
Nice like star wipe.
Yes. Yeah. Now I can do that here from the board. The transitions I can do little like I have it only has a circle, but I can do like swipes, pushes, mixes, all that shit, which is kind of. But yeah, man, no, that's sick. I've used like there's one called Roxio. Use that one. Yeah, Roxio.
I've never heard of that one.
Editing software. Sony Vegas I've used. I don't know, Final Cut, a whole bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
So editing and like stuff like that. But now I would consider you like an artist. I really would. Like your art's not like in this. That's weird. See, we're in New England, right? So when you go to like Venice Beach in California, or if you go to like Miami, or if you go to I don't know Rockport, Mass, like down up on the North Shore, artists are like painters, you know, or they're like graffiti artists. So you think of something that's like a still image that they're making. Yeah. But like. I don't know. I personally, I think of you in a DP role or, you know, or a cinematographer role, something with the camera where you're not just operating, but like,
actually
when we're on set, like I want your suggestions on lighting. I love and you inspire me so much on the side of like, you're like, oh, this would be cool. Like, we could do this. Like, I had this idea. That's very Colin. I definitely, like, even, like, if I'm just, like, first day seeing or something, like, you know, I'm looking at the image and, like, with DPs, sometimes I'm like, hey, do you want to, like, maybe, like,
is that a little too bright or something? You know, like just I'll give like little suggestions here and there that like, but generally people kind of, you know, listen to what I have to say and respect my thoughts on it, you know.
It's partially, I'm not going to
nice.
lie, it's partially because your thoughts or opinions or whatever it is, they are simple fixes that make really rather drastic changes, I would say, that are like that are beneficial, that like work.
Yeah, I'm trying to help out, you know.
Yeah, but it comes from a different place than that. You're not like putting a Band-Aid.
People get caught up sometimes, just like they're just scrambling, trying to get stuff done, and they miss like a small thing that, like, you know, I'll just pick out.
Well, like when we were on I'll Call You and you were doing the TV thing with you know, we were doing like you have one of these lights and then the little piece of cardboard underneath, and we were like making it look like it was flashing on the guy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like little simple things that like make that work, that like really work. Or like the light stand outside with the clamp lights like on it to get the rays coming through the window.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm good at like improvising stuff like that.
Right.
But like, I think we used there was like one shot in Line of Duty where we just needed like a little bit of fill.
Yeah.
It was just like a little bit of fill. We need something. And I was just like, we need like, is there nothing we can use? You know, and we didn't have much.
Right.
So I just like took literally, I think, like a paper bag.
Yeah.
And like used it as like a bounce, and it was just like
whatever works.
Just something, you know?
Right, but it works though.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's not like, I don't know. You're also good at like not saying things and just trying something. Like I don't want like not stuff that like the paper bag thing. Like I'm almost 100% sure in that specific instance you like walked up with a paper bag, tried it, and then said, "Hey, look at this, it works." As opposed to being like, you know, I don't know. What if we used like, because if you suggest something like, what if we use a paper bag? It's so easy to get shot down as opposed to.
Well, if I suggested that like in any other situation, yeah, it probably would. But there we had like no other option, and we wanted some more light on them.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it was somebody's lunch. Somebody ordered like McDonald's or something, and I used the bag.
It's good stuff. So yeah, man. So, but like when I don't know, when I think of Colin Munson though, like I always feel like if there's a problem on set or if there's like something where it's like, I feel like a lot of indie films specifically, they end up looking or feeling cheap because people don't like, I'm not shitting on anybody. I'm saying like they feel like indie films. And I feel like there's one thing that my team of people and the Bluff Boys, when we combine those forces, one thing I'm always happy of when we have you guys on set is like, we don't need a lot of money and there's enough talent to make it look, for people to say and have said to me like, how much you spent on that? I'm like, $5,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, nothing. And they're like, oh shit, really? Because I feel like money gets thrown around a lot in productions. And sometimes it's like,
I've certainly seen that,
you know,
a few times. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, you've been on some big stuff where they throw money around.
I've seen a lot of money just thrown out the window, basically.
For like no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we do nothing with a paper bag and it looks dope. So that's talent. That's not the average the average person wastes the money, they throw it away, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I mean, I think the more you think about it beforehand, you know, it's just doing the pre-production and whatnot, like,
but also having the ability to improvise too.
Right, having the ability to improvise, but I think where you waste money is where you like don't plan ahead and you think you need more than you do, and then it turns out like you don't actually need it. So I mean, I've seen that happen before, whereas like I've seen a shot go from being you know, like one instance was like we had like a techno crane, and the shot went from that to handheld.
I talked about this on the Movie Mob podcast. I mentioned that.
It was crazy.
That was funny. Yeah, I didn't mention what film it was, but
we were in like a parking lot.
Yeah,
they brought this techno crane in with a truck, like, you know, driver, crew of like 3 or 4 like people who specialize in that,
Mm-hmm.
and brought it out. We laid down like 30 feet of track and
Yeah.
on a very uneven parking lot. Got the shot up, and then like the director took one look at it and was just like, no, like that's not it.
Yeah.
And we just took it all down, packed it up in the truck, and they went handheld with it. So that was, I don't know how much that stuff cost, but that was a lot of money.
It was
going
more
up,
than any
you know.
shoot that we've ever done together. Guaranteed. Just the tech.
Oh, yeah,
rate,
yeah.
I'm saying. Probably the
Even
day rate.
just that itself,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And
forget
then
the
you're
crew of
paying all the
people.
people. Yeah, it's crazy. And even on that same movie, we had like this thing, we had this power slider.
Okay.
It was supposed to be like, just, you know, it's just like on a track.
Yeah.
Motorized? Like
Motorized?
truss. Yeah, it was. I think it was motorized. It had to have been.
Oh,
It was
power
moving
slider,
very, yeah, it moves quick.
Yeah. Like
They
the
had
kind
that.
when they do the Olympics and they follow the runners along the side of the track.
Pretty much, yeah. So they had that, and like, it was there for I think 3-4 days on
Just
set, just
sitting there.
collecting dust,
Oh,
and
I would go
and
through
then-
the roof. I'd go through the roof.
and then they just decided, you know what, like, let's just send it back.
Oh my God! You didn't even use it.
Yeah,
That's
he told the dolly
insane.
grip that he was his power slider. He's like, I'm gonna use you as like the power slider, basically.
Nice.
So the dolly grip was like, great.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm gonna push this all around you.
That dude made that movie. Pretty
Really?
much. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grips. Like if you get a good grip, or a good
Dolly
dolly
grip. Dolly grips, I feel like
So underrated.
some of the time just like make the movie.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They do a lot of work.
Yeah. A lot of leg. A lot of running.
Yeah.
You know? But it's a lot of like stopping without jolting, and there's a lot of like it's a dance. Like it's
There's
a whole dance.
it's a lot to set up too, and it's like, again, it goes back to if people don't know what they want, they don't do enough work beforehand, or if they just keep changing their minds, then it's like you're just gonna make this person like you're just gonna overwork this person. Like, you know, he was setting up long runs of track, and then they'd be like, actually, we need it like a little bit, like a few feet to the right. It's like, dude, we just spent like 20 minutes like doing this whole thing.
Yeah. You know Walter Stone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that he was on I think it was a Scorsese shoot, which I'm punching up here so I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Like, let's not be ridiculous here. I don't even know what movie it was. But like he said he was on I think it was a Scorsese shoot where he was gripping just one of the extra grips that they had, and they put down like 500 feet of dolly track for this like walking shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marty comes on set. They did it like a day early before, like they had location a day early. They were shooting somewhere else. The second unit set up this track for the next day kind of deal. So he gets on set the next day and he like looks at the track and he's like, no, it's supposed to be over there. I'll be back tomorrow. And he left. And that was it. Like they scrapped the whole day. Like,
Yeah.
They just took like 500 feet of track and they just moved it over like 50 feet to the other side to get one shot. It was ridiculous. You know, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
And then people wonder why these movies cost hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what I mean? I do find it like super interesting though that you're not, because I never knew that you were like. I mean, I guess I kind of knew that you played soccer and stuff, but like I never knew that you weren't into this stuff until college, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
I definitely like.
Because can I just say, and without like disrespecting anyone else that's not here, like you're the furthest along in the Hollywood side of like movie industry than a lot of the people we know.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you grip on some big films, dude. Like you're like you're not like a small time.
No, I've been lucky enough to like
know the right people at the right time.
Yeah, and just like, I mean, I do work hard, and you know, I try.
Yeah,
like,
you do. But
so it's
what I'm saying though is like we all work hard,
right?
So like, it's interesting that like someone who I don't know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think another thing is also just having good people skills. I think like one, because I was a communications major in college, like with the concentration in film video. So, but it was like I definitely remember a comment that one of my professors made. He's like, "It's a communications program, and nobody knows how to communicate."
really?
And yeah, I mean, like, I think that's kind of something that stuck with me, is definitely like just being personable, like working hard, but also just like being able to talk to people and
have a conversation.
And
I don't know, man. I wanted to make movies.
That's just one thing that I've tried to do.
Yeah,
the whole time.
And I think you do a good job of it. That's why I wanted you here today.
Yeah, so then I was on this other thing where
yeah, go. So like you're a union, obviously, right?
Yes.
But so you're not working right now. How have the strikes, like, have you noticed anything? Like, have the strikes affected you, or like because you're grip union, you're not writers union or actors union, but like how have they affected your work?
Yeah, a little bit. Not like.
Besides,
just the fact that there's not
any work
stuff going on right now.
Right. Have you had any like crazy?
Because usually this is like the busy time of the year, the summer.
Yeah. Everywhere because the weather's nice.
Yeah. So that's like the best time to do like, a month long, 2 month long,
right,
thing,
right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Like I was on set when we got picketed by like
tell me more.
by this was during the writer's strike. We were shooting a movie.
Yeah.
And there was like one day where they came to our set and like shut it down.
They came.
Yeah, they came. Well, it was like funny. We knew that they were coming like the night before.
They called and like told
I don't know how people knew, but like somehow we got tipped off, right? That like they're coming,
Yeah.
So it's like,
okay, yeah.
And we had like a week. We had like 2 weeks left to shoot.
Yeah.
Like we were in the home stretch.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I don't know. It was just we knew that they were gonna show up, and then the next day, like they were there. And
was it a lot of them?
No, it was like,
I imagine it wasn't like LA where
it was like 20 people, like tops.
Yeah, in a circle. Were they walking in a circle with signs?
So we were like, they were kind of like by the entrance of like where we were supposed to go to like park and stuff. Because they like weren't allowed to be like on the property or something.
Yeah.
So like we were all told like, just show up to work, and like if they're there, like then we're not gonna work, Okay. And so
then when they leave, we'll go to work.
What?
Like is that what it was or no?
Basically, yeah, like when we were there and like the AD, he was like, so like what are the circumstances that you guys would work under? And we're like, well, if they're there, like we're not going to work.
Right.
And so he was like, okay.
Yeah.
He understood. And
yeah, but like I guess he was asking, right? Like, hold on, it's a thing. It's a bit. I got a bit. Like, hold on. What if he was asking was like, if it's one guy who shows up with a sign, are we going to work or what?
Well, I guess some people were like,
it's like if there's one dude out there with a cardboard sign,
right? They're like, what constitutes like a picket line?
Right.
That was a legitimate question. I think
sure.
that people were wondering, and it was interesting because I think a lot of people that were there. And I'm talking people who had like decades worth of experience that,
yeah,
they hadn't even experienced it yet. Like a
A strike?
You know, an actual. Well, they maybe a strike,
or a picket line,
but like an actual picket line.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was. I don't know. It was interesting, like to see. It was like 20 people, like I said, tops. It wasn't that many people. And so we just went and we parked in the lot, and then we were like, I think like our union rep was there, and he was like he was kind of guiding us through like what we should be doing. So like we were in the parking lot, and then we're like, okay, they're at the entrance to the like property, so we should actually like go back like beyond, like there was like a shopping plaza across the street basically that we like went to,
right,
to like definitively be like
we're not even on site.
We are not crossing like the picket line basically.
Right.
So yeah, so we.
Isn't it crazy? Like that could have been like it wouldn't, but like that could be like a news story. Like it could be like, you know, people, what's it called? Crew members cross picket line during writer's strike. Like you'd have been all over the news. It was
like actually crazy though, because I mean, people do. Like people did it, you know?
Dude, I mean, listen,
and it was interesting because like some people were hearing like, there were like people on the crew, you know, that are from out of town, or they have friends from out of town.
Yeah.
They're like, we're hearing that like so-and-so like crossed the picket line. I was like, damn, okay. That's crazy. Like word spreads pretty quick, I guess.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I'm in support of the people that are striking. Like get what you guys deserve, whatever it is, right? Like I'm indie, so like I'm not even in it. Like I'm way far out of it. And my shoots don't get shut down because they've already approved shoots that are not part of the big top studios. Like it's it's not. But
yeah,
I will say
this was prior to the SAG strike.
Yeah, the SAG
so that hadn't even
SAG ones are
that really was bad. Like that one totally, like I knew people who were on stuff that just it was gone.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. But I was gonna say though that the like I don't know much about it, but I can only imagine if you got a family, you got to work. You know, I'm not in support of crossing picket lines by any stretch of the imagination, but I can understand why somebody might. You know, if they're non-union and they're going to work, it's crazy. It's sad stuff. I mean, I don't recommend it.
People have their reasons, I guess.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, I definitely think that there was certainly judgment passed.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah,
to
absolutely.
those people.
Yeah.
And it kind of like, you know, we still had like 2 weeks. We had like a week and a half to shoot still.
Yeah.
So it's like
you can lose a day.
Like now, like for the rest of that shoot, like everybody
You're
knows
the guy that
yeah,
crossed the
right,
picket line, like, right?
So that's kind of interesting, I guess. But yeah, it was weird because they were there. And so
were they just there for the one day?
Yeah, well, so they were there in the morning, and we're like, all right, we're not gonna work. They're here, so we all left, and like basically we were choosing not to work, and so because like some production people were like just deciding to like, instead of shutting down for the day, they were like gonna work still. And they were like rehearsing, I guess.
Yeah, because you all would have been fired.
So then we basically,
like, it been really bad.
Basically, like we were forfeiting our
pay
for the day.
Yeah, that's annoying. I mean, I get it; it's for a good cause, but that's got to be annoying.
So, and at the time too, we didn't know if that was going to be it. Like if we were going to shut down, if they were going to stay,
right,
for a while. So whatever. I have a hotel room in Rhode Island for a whole week. This is like Tuesday, so I'm like, well,
like, I don't paid for. So
they already paid for it. I was like, I don't really want to like drive back up to Boston. Like,
yeah, a little staycation.
And like a lot of other people on the crew were doing that. Were like staying over. So I just went to the beach with a bunch of people, and like we were just hanging out there.
That's cool.
And Yeah, and then like I was there for like maybe an hour. And
They called you?
And then there like somebody got a text and was like, "Hey, the picketers left and like they're trying to like call us back in to work now."
Yeah.
And we're like, no, like they can't do that, you know? We're like, what?
So
and then like one by one we're all getting texts from like our boss that
go back to work.
Yeah.
So did you go?
We went back to work. Yeah, it sucked.
Nobody,
a lot of
shortened up real quick.
Yeah, people were not too happy about that.
Right.
And then that
whatever.
like
You guys got the
that just
pay.
kind of like messed up the rest of the week.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Whereas like everything, just all our days were ending later than they were originally scheduled for, because it kind of just pushed everything back a little bit. But yeah, they were only there for like half a day, and then, I mean, we also thought it was weird. We were like, should we even be like working if it's like they were here today, you know?
Today, like you can't even take the one day.
So I mean, I don't know, like, you know, I'm so new to it too, where it's like I don't know what's like right and wrong in those situations.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So I'm basically just like listening to my superiors, I guess.
Yeah, you're doing your job, and you guys weren't striking.
I mean, we were we did not work when they were there.
No, I know. I'm saying
So
afterward though. Like if you guys, I'm sure there's something weird there, like bylaw wise or whatever. Like if you're not actively on a strike and you decide not to work, there's got to be ramifications. You know what I mean?
Right.
Within the things of your union, I mean, within, that's got to be a weird thing.
Yeah,
I get
again, I don't know much about it because I'm
Right.
so new to it. I
Right.
I just joined this year. you
Right.
know?
Right. No, it makes sense. Like I don't know. Seriously, I've always wanted to make movies since like first grade. Like when the teacher, I've told you this a million times. Like teacher goes around the room. Billy wants to be an astronaut. Tommy wants to be a cowboy. And they get to me and I said like movie producer. What the fuck are you doing? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Who are you? Like Boss Baby with Alec Baldwin when the baby's like, a 50-year-old man inside a baby body kind of
Oh
deal.
yeah,
That was like me, you know? Like
I could see that.
yeah, walking around. All right, here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, like that. I've always had like that dream, and I like stifled myself. Like I shut myself down, and I was like, ugh, I'll just go into sales.
What?
Like it's not possible. Like this is a bullshit dream. This is never gonna happen. I'll just go into sales, and I was like fucking depressed. Like
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
sucks.
it's not real. And I like literally gave up on an incredibly high paying sales job
Mm-hmm.
and started doing this because for me, seriously speaking, money isn't everything.
Yeah.
And like striving to be happy as much of the time of that you spend on this side of the grass as possible
Mm-hmm.
is super important. People, I've always been like a personable person as well. Like I didn't talk to anybody. I make a friend with anybody.
Right.
It doesn't really bug me. But it's the reason I say it is because it's interesting that someone like you is like discovering it along the way. But it doesn't sound like when you were super young that there was like, I want to make movies.
I think
I want to be a star.
I think it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't exactly like that. But I think
Right.
it was with me for a long time.
Sure.
Because like that story I told you about seeing the editing software
Right.
for the first time, like I was pretty young when that happened. I can't even remember, but and I was always like making stuff, like I was making videos like
Right.
for a long time, and I don't think it ever really like crossed my mind that that's what I could do for like a living.
I feel like a lot of people feel that way.
And I also thought, I also felt like that in college too. I was like, I don't know how to like turn this into like, I didn't know what having a job in the film industry would look like. I had no concept of that, and nobody like I mean, people do kind of tell you, but
Yeah.
until you actually see it, it's just like it goes in one ear and out the other. Like you don't. It doesn't really mean anything until you see it.
Yeah.
And I think that was also one thing that gave me a leg up. Was that like I started working before I graduated college.
Yeah.
So like I had like the summer before my last year, I started doing like a little bit of work, not much, but enough to like get an idea of what it's like.
With Evan?
Evan was the first
let's talk
person that I
Let's
worked
dig
with.
deep.
Yeah.
Let's dig deep. Not in a bad way. Good way. All
of
good.
course not. Evan was huge for my career.
How did you meet Evan?
I met Evan on that movie that you and Ryan and Billy talked about.
Bleep. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
The movie that you guys were talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That was the first.
That was the first time you ever did anything?
That was the first set I ever worked on outside of college. Was that movie?
And that wasn't that shot in like Virginia or something?
What? No. It was shot around here. Shot in Mass.
Okay. All right. I'm forgetting, but that's fine. Okay. I wasn't on it.
It was, yeah, I mean, it was shot over a course of, over a while. And it was kind of, spread out a little bit because I don't know, that's how a lot of indie stuff was shooting at the time.
And that was the first time you ever met Evan?
Yeah. I had a friend of mine who graduated a couple years before me.
Mm-hmm.
He was Evan's first AC at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I remember like talking to him at like a friend's graduation party. I was like, dude, like if you do like anything to get me on set, like I'll be a PA, like I don't care. I just do not want to get another like shitty summer job.
Because you were working at
I worked at Target before. Yeah. I think you already knew that. But.
I did. I was waiting for the Target to come out. Yeah. Colin from Target.
Yeah. So I worked there, and I just like
it's a job.
I did it for a couple summers. You know,
it's a job
in between years in college, and then I remember going back for like the winter and like winter break. I went back there, and it was just like
different.
It was just like it was exactly the same.
Right.
It was exactly the same. That was the problem.
Right.
Was that like I was gone for months, and I came back. They're like, "Oh, hey, Colin, like, yeah, you'll be on the floor today." Like, I was just like, "Hey, man, like, haven't seen you in months."
Good to see you. Yeah.
And for them, it was just like that was just what they did every day. It's like.
Which I guess there's no problem with that if that's what you like to do.
No, it was fun, but it just, and then like, yeah, that job was just, it was a fine job, not for me, I did not enjoy doing it, and I think it would have been better if I had like friends there.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, I didn't really like find myself like, as like good of friends with anybody from there as I would like.
It's just a different crowd.
Yeah. So
yeah, I like to, buddy. I mean, I was in the same boat. Like I was in the car business, right? Selling cars, finance, everything, and like yes, you make tons of money if you're good or whatever, but you're surrounded by, and not every dealership is like this because I know some car people listen to this. I know they do. I know they do. But, like, there are definitely a lot of dealerships where you're surrounded by alcoholic divorcees who wear the same shirt 3, 4, 5 days in a row, who just strive for every penny of everything. And, like, you kind of have to because it's a commission-based business.
Right.
But it gets, like, it's great for, like, script writing because you meet a lot of characters. But it's like,
good point.
is this what I want to do until, like, the amount of stories I heard, I was like 19, and I'm hearing stories about people at like 39, 42, who would be like waiting in line to get, like, you know how like when you go to buy a car, they show you the payments, the salesperson?
Mm-hmm.
And like they'd be waiting in line to get that printout from the sales desk and have an aneurysm and die on the floor and then the person behind them in line would step over them and get to the next spot in line. Oh wait, we can't do anything. The ambulance is on the way. Can I get those numbers, please? Like, that's literally how, I mean,
jeez.
So it's, if you think about it from a funny, like, laughing perspective, which it is funny to hear a story like that, and we'd all stand around and laugh. But then I would go home at the end of the night, and I'm a wicked overthinker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I want that? Because you know me, I'm a fucking nutbag. We can say it. Like, you can shit on me. I don't care. It's just my show. It doesn't matter. Well, go for it. Like, have fun. But, like, I'm crazy. I don't see it taking much for me to like stroke out at 45 years old if I'm in a position where literally, Colin, 7 days a week, because you get 1 day off a week.
Mm-hmm.
And on that day off, they'll call you. Super busy in here, kid. You got to get in here. If you want to make anything, if you want to make a paycheck this week, you got to get in here. So it's like, I mean, dude, I used to call my friends to hang out, and they would come sit at my desk in the car dealership. That was us hanging out.
Wow.
I mean, they're great friends because they would come hang out.
I mean, that's good that you had them. Like,
sure. But I'm saying, like, really? Like, that's my life? Like, that sucks. You know what I mean? Same as, like,
how old were you when you?
19. I was 19 when I started in the car business. Thought I hit a gold mine. Thought money was everything because I was 19. And I left in 2018. So I was... it's like 5-6 years somewhere in the car business. But I did the whole thing. I bought a house, had brand new cars all the time, went on a vacation a year, was answering emails the whole time I was on vacation. But I was able to do things because of like the monetary aspect of stuff.
Right.
But you're just never good enough, you know? You just be like the top finance manager, East Region, making them like $2-3 million a year. And they would be like, yeah, but, you know, we could just, if we had just hit that next tier level, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I punched out.
I don't think that's not a good work environment, in my opinion.
It's not. It was very, like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, like, Boiler Room. Like,
I don't think I have seen that.
It's a sales movie, but it's a good movie. Ben Affleck's in it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's a movie about sales for salespeople. And it's like, you don't, like, breathe unless I tell you to. You can't go to the bathroom, bring a cup, put it next to your desk. Don't get up until you've made sales, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, God, okay.
No thanks.
Right.
No thanks.
And it's not that I can't do it. I did it 6 years. Like, there was a point.
No, I feel like you would be good at it.
Like, I was
I couldn't sell cars because I'm not, like assertive enough, I guess, or aggressive enough. I don't know which.
Yeah. One thing that, like, it definitely confirmed for me is the balance of how to talk to different people in different situations. So, like, and it applies on set. So, like, the actors you can talk to. Now, we all have moments of where we freak out and we don't mean to. And we can come back from that always. Yeah. And rekindle. Yeah. And move on.
Exactly.
And they're not needed to be spoken about again. But in general, like, you talk to your grips about different things and in certain ways, and you can talk to your actors about different things in certain ways. You know, if you're talking about, like, I don't know, if you have a scene where, like, someone's lover is dying in their arms, the actors are going to be in a different headspace and mindset than the crafty table. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, in a director or even a producer, like, standpoint, you have to be able to, like, communicate with everybody, right? Or an AD, you have to communicate with everybody on an even playing field where they all understand you the same way. And, like, but your job is to kind of be a chameleon and, like, go through and talk to everybody differently. Right. You know, and everybody will have a different type of question and have a different stress that they're dealing with. Yeah. It becomes.
I think.
But the sales thing, I mean, it helped. My point is the sales job where I'm running around talking to people, cleaning cars versus the mechanics versus the customer versus the sales desk versus the finance. Like it helps you like learn that not everybody's on the same page all the time,
right?
And so you have to kind of.
Well, that's why it's important to learn about those different roles.
What was your initial goal for like communications? Like what was that?
Well, I mean, film video was the.
It was the minor.
No, it was the major basically.
Okay.
It was like communications was like the umbrella where there was all these.
I see. So it was like TV, film, video.
So there was
news.
like film, video. There was like game design.
That's where it is.
Graphic design, things like that.
See, that's like artsy. That's surprising, though. That's what I'm saying, because that's like artsy-fartsy kind of, sort of. You know, graphic design is still artsy to me.
Oh no, it definitely is.
You know, it's just a different.
I even thought about doing that for like a second.
Yeah,
because I thought it was cool.
It is cool.
Like, when I saw how to do it, but then I was like, no, I think I should stick to what I was doing.
Yeah,
and it was a good decision.
Yeah. No, I think so too.
But yeah, going back to that movie though, that was the first thing that I ever did, and yeah, it was a PA.
Yeah. Yes, the one. Yes,
it was a PA.
The one. And, you were a PA.
Yeah, it was a PA.
Interesting.
I told him like, hey, you know, I know how to do like a little bit of stuff because I went to college, and like my friend who got me on like could vouch for that because he had the same like learning experience that I had. You know, he took the same classes and stuff. So like basically learned the same stuff. So I think that was like, you know, I think I got to do like a little bit of stuff with like the grip and electric side. Because that's always a good place where you can kind of get started is like grip and electric, because they just need a lot of manpower, and a lot of those smaller sets, they don't have the manpower. So if you're just able to like help out, even just like moving stuff, you know, you can like get started.
So I'm not gonna lie, Billy and Ryan ripped that fucking movie apart.
Yeah.
So I gotta know, was it a deterrence from the industry?
No. So my mindset after that movie was like, all right, if I can get through this, like, I can get through anything. And it's true. Like I was like, if this is like as bad as it gets, then that's.
And then you met me.
No. I mean, like,
I'm kidding, Cole. I'm kidding.
You know, I was just like, it was wild though. It was like the first day I showed up, they were like, "Do you know like what this movie's about?" I was like, "Not a clue." And then they explained it to me. I was like, "Wow, okay." I didn't know what to think about it. You know. But yeah, I mean, did that for a bit, and it was interesting because, you know, I went from PA to like being a grip, and then like ended up like operating a camera on it. You know, it wasn't much. It was like the live performance part of it. I was just like in the side section, just like on a slider, just going back and forth through the whole show.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I got to do different stuff on that. And just like progress past being a PA, which was cool.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, that same friend who got me that job, he was like, one piece of advice he gave me was like you learn quickly that like you don't have to be a PA. Not that there's anything wrong with being a PA, but
no, but you can be a PA for life.
He knew the skill set that I had through, you know, going to Fitchburg. Like he knew the things that they taught me and like things that I could do. And so he was like, yeah, like you'll find out that you don't have to do that. Like you can like step into these other roles basically. So that was a good piece of advice like early on.
Yeah.
for sure. And I think there's been a lot of like little things like that I've picked up over the years of doing it, especially early on.
Where did you like flip? Do you remember, again, you don't have to name the movie, but do you remember the first significant where you're like, shit, this is a big deal that I'm doing? Like, this movie is this, like, as opposed to, and again, I'm not trying to down myself at all, but the films that we shoot, they're incredibly micro, nothing budget. Like, it's very collaborative. I want people involved that are like, I want a 6-person crew. And then you step into these roles where you're having techno cranes on set. So like, what was the first time where you were like, fuck, what, like this, like, okay, we're here, like, hello.
So, there's a movie called, that shot here, I think it's 2 years ago now. That was the first like big, like really big thing that I did. So yeah, like showing up to that day one, it was, we were behind the Boston Convention Center, like in that big parking lot there. And there was just like a line of trucks and like...
budget.
There was just like a lot of stuff and a lot of people. And I was like, oh God, here we go.
All right.
And day one was like rigging a car to a process trailer, which I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to like kind of sit tight and do what I can do. Because that's like, you really have to like learn how to do that.
Of course.
Stuff. And I was, that was my first day like doing grip on a big set. Like I had done a few things here and there and like I knew some basic stuff. But I was just, it was a lot. It was a lot to process at the time.
Sure.
So, intimidating. So I think that was
But you could handle it.
I mean, I got through it. And,
well, and then you went back is what I'm saying. Like you got through it and then you were like, I'm going to continue doing this.
Right. Well, that was also another type of thing where it was like, okay, if I can get through this day, then I can probably get through anything. Because that first day was hell. It was like the hottest day of the summer.
Yeah.
And we were just in a parking lot. We were just baking in a parking lot.
They had no like tents or cover or anything?
It's just wide open. I mean, people were literally having like heat exhaustion. And this isn't the first time this happened either. Well, that was the first time I had experienced it. But it's happened again on other stuff. It's always when we're rigging a car. It's like, it's just going to be in a parking lot because we have to bring it on a trailer. To a parking lot. Everybody's just working in the heat. It's just like, it's crazy.
I have a friend who's an actor who was on, he was in a movie. He was an extra in a film. He had a line. I don't know. It wasn't like crazy role, but it was during COVID that they shot it. And so the director was in like a bubble, like a plastic bubble, basically. And like the AD would walk up and talk to the director and then walk away. And like you couldn't go talk to the director. Big movie, big director. And
I have another story follow up this.
And I mean, COVID aside, yes, I understand that that's like a big deal, but I never want to be that as a director. Like I scream and yell, but I also want to be able to converse with every single person who's there. And I'm big on like knowing names. Like I don't like to point over at a random crowd and be like, you come here. I don't like that. That's why I like the smaller crews and stuff. But
sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to be like, hey.
But you can also take 5 seconds and learn at someone's name.
Right, exactly. Then you go, hey, I'm sorry, like,
yes,
I don't know your name.
I don't mean,
name?
Of course,
and
but I mean,
you
like, there are people out there who don't give a shit or don't give enough of a shit to care. And the comfortability thing is like, I don't ever want to be the person who's the most comfortable on set. I will sweat. I'll be like, you know what I mean? I'll be gross, disgusting. As long as everybody else is comfortable. I mean, you got to admit, as crazy as I am, I work fucking hard when it comes to this stuff, So that's why I was like, I would never subject people. Like I would location scout and be like, it's big blacktop. Like we're going to need some cover. This is going to suck for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, need some suntan lotion or something. Like,
it's a big parking lot.
Yeah, no, but like, but again, if you have multi-millions, you can rent from party rental, whatever the fuck. Yeah. You can rent tents and put crew people in there. I think they did. You know,
I've seen sets where they have like an easy up with like some sides that if it's like middle of winter, they'll put like heaters in there and stuff.
Well, they don't consider it though for the sun.
I think they do sometimes. Like they'll have basically the same thing, but with like AC, or like fans. I don't know.
But, you know what I mean? Though, like that just sucks.
Yeah, no, it sucked. The first thing I had to do was, go into this like, this small bus and take seats. We had to take the seats out of the bus so they could.
Why?
So we're doing. There's a car on a process trailer, being towed, and cameras on the hood of the car, in the on the trailer itself, and like there's also like basically a moving video village like in the truck.
Oh yeah,
where, like playback would be.
Yes, to stay within range of like the pterodactyl.
Right, yeah, and then so they would mount the pterodactyl onto the roof of the bus, and so I had to go in there and like try to get these like seats out that were like bolted into the bottom of the bus. And so there was like, I remember there was one bolt that was just like, it literally would not move. And it was just like sweltering in this bus because it was just like in this parking lot, in this tiny bus. And I'm like trying so hard to get the seat.
You're like,
undone.
I'm making movies, and though. Like, I'm making movies.
I'm like, am I just weak or is this thing really like stuck?
Yeah.
And it turned out it really was stuck, and we couldn't take that one off. We had to like do a different one or something.
Oh,
but I was like drenched in sweat in the first like 5 minutes of the day.
That's gross.
And yeah, it was. But again, it's like you have days where it sucks.
Yeah.
But you're like, at the end of it, you're like, got through it, So it's like, if most of the days are not like this, then it's not so bad,
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. I can't live without it. Like, I need it. I need something. Like, I used to look at, and I'm just thinking because I sold windows. Windows after the car business for a while. I worked for a company selling windows.
Sounds fun.
It sucked ass. And they would send me to like Connecticut. I'd wake up, get a notification on the phone telling me where to go. And every time I've done a job, even when I was like 16, I worked in a grocery store. And I used to think like, this could be a TV show. This could be a movie. This could be a series. Like, it's the only thing that's how my mind works. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think about that stuff too. I'm definitely like, funny shit happens. I'm like, that's a sketch right there.
Easily. But I feel like it's a weird thing to say, but it's, like doctors don't necessarily think that way. Lawyers don't think that way. Some of them might think like, oh, that would be funny if like that's a moment that reminds me of this TV show. But what I'm saying is like filmmakers, TV people, all that stuff, like we see stuff and we're like, we should write that down and make that a thing. Yeah. People don't think that way, normally.
Yeah.
Normal people don't think that way.
I guess normal people don't think that way.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't mind being abnormal. I like being a weirdo.
I always, didn't want to be like normal.
Yeah, it's so boring.
It's really boring.
What a waste of life.
That's why we do what we do. Is because I think a lot of people in this industry, they don't like doing the same thing. Like for too long.
Right.
Like I was never somebody who could like sit down at a desk. I knew that.
Yeah, you snapped me the other day.
Yeah, yeah.
Snapped me.
Yeah, I was working in like the financial district in Boston, like 9 to 5, and I was like, this is so weird.
That's hell. Is it not hell? Like you walk in and there's just a sea of cubicles and you're like, can I go home, please?
You're just like watching like the sun on the buildings and you're like, oh, like it's it's getting later, so it's almost time to go.
I guess. I mean, everybody's
It's
everybody's needed. All the jobs are needed. There's definitely like an ass for every seat, but just I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
I mean, I think like all those jobs, you know, they have their pros and cons. It's like sitting in an air-conditioned office for only 8 hours. Like, sometimes it doesn't sound that bad, but
not when you're trying to take a bus seat out of a bus.
Yeah, compared to like being gross and sweaty and like working for like 16 hours, you know.
I guess, man. I don't know.
But it's like I would rather do that than sit at a desk personally. But that's just because I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't sit at a desk for that long. It's so boring.
Maybe in the moment while you're trying to take that bus seat out, you're like, air-conditioned office, not that bad. You know? But like after, like, then you realize like, but then it's not like, just for that moment. Like, you're locked there till you're 65, chained to that desk.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff is like the same thing, day in, day out, week in, week out. You know, but our lives, like it's different stuff all the time. You know.
Yeah.
Some days I'm taking stuff out of a bus, and like other days we're like blowing shit up. You know. Like doing stunts and stuff. Like,
yeah,
it's sick.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
you can't deny that it's fucking cool.
That's the fun stuff that we get to do is like
blow shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To blow shit up. So you were talking about the director
in the bubble.
In the bubble. Yeah. So
and you know the actor that I was talking about too.
Maybe?
No, you do. You 100% do. He was on a production that we did. But I'll tell you after.
Okay, all right. We were shooting in this hotel in Boston, and like, you know, on that movie we all had to wear masks all the time
because it was COVID.
It was COVID,
like high COVID.
Still, yeah. We're in there, and like the director he's not wearing a mask, right? Because he's the director, I guess. Sure. You know, he thinks he's special, I guess.
Or he wants to breathe, but okay, whatever. To each their own.
And so he didn't wear it like at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are those people who really like think they're above you.
Yeah.
And they're above the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But in addition, they also, I remember, because we had like our staging in different like hotel rooms. Like,
yeah.
So we had all our gear in this room down the hall from the actual like set.
Yeah.
We're on this floor of the hotel, and there's no food allowed. It's just canned
They're
waters.
Not okay.
Weird
I'm
canned
confused.
waters.
I'm confused. So you're on a big shoot. It's during COVID. You all have to wear masks indoors and out. The director's not wearing a mask. How do we get to the food thing? So the food.
This was like, I kind of just went off I just remembered this other part.
Right. Okay, but is it a certain floor of the hotel where food is not allowed? The whole floor?
I think it was more a hotel rule than a like production rule.
Okay.
Like the hotel didn't really want us to.
But they allowed their own branded canned water.
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know who provided the waters, but they were gross. They were like, I don't know, dude. Canned water's like not.
Dude, I'm a psycho. I mean, you know I'm a psycho, but I'm a psycho when it comes to water. I went to CVS to buy Poland Springs, and I only saw like this Nestle Pure Life water crap. Mm-hmm. I won't drink it. Like, I asked the guy. I was like, "Do you not have Poland Springs anymore?" He was like, "They were in a different spot." And like, I found them and got them.
Yeah,
and they're like more expensive, which is funny because right now I have no money. But I'm just saying, like, I don't like shitty water is not good water. You know?
Yeah.
This is America, damn it. Where's my good water? Where's my Poland Springs?
It was really like
tin flavored.
Yeah, it was like unsettling. Like I didn't like it at all. And so there was no food here, and Crafty, they put Crafty like a block away. We're in Boston, so you had to go down the elevator.
Country. Yeah.
It would take like 20 minutes to go to Crafty and
to get a
it was crazy
breakfast bar. Yeah.
So we would when we had downtime, like sometimes we would just send somebody with a bag and just like
load up,
fill it up,
That's
and then
funny.
just bring it back to the hotel. And like we were just chilling in a hotel room, just like, and then when we have to like do stuff, we would do it.
On the walkie they call you.
But yeah, like if we had a moment where it was like, all right, I think we're set up for a while, like somebody could go make a run and we'd be okay.
Yeah.
We'd send somebody. So we would have like food and drinks in there, but we'd just do it like secretly.
Rough life in a nice hotel.
But
chilling with other people your age.
But anyway, so
go ahead.
Somebody came into our like room that we were staged in. Like the grips were in one room, the electrics another, camera
keep it organized,
another. You know, just keep it all separate and
but equal.
So somebody like came into our room and it was like I think it was like some PA or like maybe like somebody's assistant or something. Yeah. I can't remember, but they're like, hey, can we use your guys' like phone real quick? And we're like, yeah, sure. I don't care. And
phone in the hotel room or a cell phone?
In the hotel room.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like half hour later, somebody came by. It was like, did you guys order room service?
Someone came to your room, ordered room service to your room?
Yeah, we were like, what? And then like some other PA dude was like came by. He was like, did you guys order room service? We were like, no, it wasn't us. And like, so this guy brought like this platter of food.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that it was like the director and like the DP were like eating it. So like the crew's not allowed to have food on the floor.
Crafty's a block away. Okay, I have a question.
Lunch isn't for,
I have a question.
And
all right.
They thought they were like they thought they were better than everybody.
As psychotic as I am,
while we were there.
Would I ever act like that as a director on set? Would I ever do something like that?
No, I mean, this guy was
a dick.
Yeah, he was.
That's crazy.
A bit much.
That's crazy, dude.
Same guy who sent the power slider and the techno crane away.
No way.
Yeah. It was.
I'm cutting that. Relax. I'm kidding. You gotta lighten up a little. Like relax, man. It's good. I just like making you laugh.
So I thought that was crazy. But yeah, and so he's like walking around, no mask, in this like cramped hotel corridor.
Sure.
2 days later, he has COVID. Right.
He didn't have a mask,
and he wasn't wearing. Yeah. He wasn't wearing it while he probably like had it. You know,
when he's sharing food with a.
Yeah, and he's like eating food around us, like ordering it to our room. And
yeah. Like
and,
what?
I think we shut down for 1 day. We like didn't work for 1 day. And then, or what are they gonna like have him Zoom, like direct via Zoom?
Oh my God.
We were joking about that.
Yeah.
And then like,
I wonder, like,
and
what
then
did you do?
had to work the next day, and we're like, we're working. Like I thought he was like, can't work.
Yeah.
And he literally was directing via Zoom.
Are you kidding me?
We were joking about it, and it actually happened. Yeah, there was like his like assistant guy was literally like walking him around like on an iPad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I was like,
what? Okay.
I don't know.
Listen,
I guess we did it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sometimes the rules suck, but like you got to follow them, because that's like, I couldn't do that. That to me is the same as working in an office. Like I love being there. Like I love being there. You know what I mean? I couldn't do that.
I'm sure he did too, and it's probably weird, just as weird for him. But
yeah, but if he had like followed protocol, it probably wouldn't have happened.
That was the only time that's really happened.
Yeah, well, of course. Yeah.
Well, I've had.
Yeah, that was the only time the whole nation shut down because of a fucking virus. But
no, but I mean, like, I feel like the Zoom directing, like, could happen more. And I guess it did happen like one other time, but it was like an interview type thing. It was like,
what's your plan? Like right now, you're a grip. You've obviously worked up some ranks, but like on more indie sets, you do like way higher position stuff. What is the future? If you had it, if I know nobody knows, I know. I don't want to hear that nobody knows. I know anything could happen.
Yeah.
Perfect world. What is the future of Munson Media? Like, what's the deal there? Like, what do you want to do with your life?
I feel like I've had a lot of like ideas of sketches or short films or whatever, feature film even.
Sure.
Like, for a while. So I think just really buckling down and kind of working on those things is what I would like to be doing, especially now that there's some downtime. There's not as much work going on.
Yeah, I'm sure you felt the effects of that.
I feel like not taking advantage of that, like not being productive with the time.
Why do you think I'm doing this?
Would be, I just wouldn't feel good about it. So I feel like that's kind of what's next for me. Is just like, trying to find work here and there, but I'm not stressing.
You gotta
like
pay
too
bills,
much.
but I mean more on an intellectual level. Like, what are your wants? Like, you need to keep the lights on. Like,
my wants are those things. Like, I want to make those
ideas,
projects.
Yeah,
I've had this idea for like a feature for a while.
Really,
that I've wanted to do. And,
I feel like we've talked about it. Maybe
I think so. My bowling movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just still have to fucking write it. I'm just slacking. That's really all it is.
What the fuck, man?
No, I'm just a slacker, dude.
Well, stop slacking.
I know. That's why I'm.
We just talked about how hard you work, so fucking.
No, it's like I work hard on set and stuff, but then when it comes to my own stuff, I guess I slack.
Why?
Which is just a bad. I don't know. I think it goes back to just like being in college and like you had to make something where it was like, okay, you have to like make something by this deadline.
So it's more like self-discipline kind of.
Yeah, it's really just not having the self-discipline for it. Like, that's all it is. So that's why I say that I'm slacking, because it's all on me just not doing it.
Work is slow right now. Obviously, I'm not grip. I don't do that kind of thing. But work in general, across the board, ask Sam, like, it's slow. Clients, the economy's a little weird right now. It's slow.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons that I started doing this was so that I'm putting content out there and I'm still creating something. But you got to think to yourself, if you were to watch this episode in 25 years and you still haven't written that script,
right,
is that going to bug you?
Oh, absolutely. And
it's
bugged me that I haven't written it yet.
But you know what I'm saying? And like, do your thing. Like, do you. Obviously, you're going to do work. You're great. I would love to be on set with you again soon and like do some. The thing, what I really like, because I hate shot lists and shit like that. What I really want, I want to talk about more cinematography stuff with you. But,
right. But I'll talk cinematography with you.
Yeah. But like with regard to your own stuff, it is important to keep the lights on. It's important to have income and to be working. But at the same time, you don't want to look back on this, and we'll be laughing at this episode in 20 years. You know we will. But I don't want to look back on this episode and have you be like, never wrote that. Like that would kill you. Even if you move on from the story. Like, you'd be like, what the fuck?
It would be good to just do kind of like a proof of concept.
Yeah, whatever.
Like,
we don't have to spend any money.
Short version of
Let's do it.
Just to like make sure that it's, it's going to work.
Yeah, pick out like, I don't know, you don't even have to like write the whole thing. Like write a couple of scenes, something that gets the point across or something.
Right, yeah.
Something to like, so you can start actually visualizing it, and tinkering with it, having fun. Let's do something.
No, I want to do stuff. I also want to I definitely want to shoot other stuff. I feel like I've only been like hired as a DP like a couple times.
I know.
Like I've only shot like a couple of like short films or stuff for people.
I have a question about that.
And yeah.
I feel you haven't shot anything for me yet. And it's like one of my biggest it's one of my biggest like things that are annoying me. And I mean, metaphorically speaking, I could give you a camera and be like, all right, I'm going to deal with the actors and the rest of the crew. Go, let's make a movie. Like, just do it. And I wouldn't have any issues in post because I edit my shit. So I wouldn't have to like, I mean, I would physically actually do it, but I wouldn't be required to be like over your shoulder. Like, what's the shot? What are we doing? Like, what do you want to do with this? Like, I just trust, there's so much trust.
Yeah.
But my question is, because it's not that I haven't hired you to DP something because I don't want you to do it. Like, that's why I prefaced it with that, because I do. I really, really do. But when I think of Colin Munson, I'm not kidding. I think of like a fixer. Like I don't have to worry about like 3 or 4 or 5 other people, at least on camera team, because you're there. Like do you almost feel like you're too helpful? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
no, I think being,
like
being a first, you got to kind of like be like the head of the department in a way. Like,
yeah.
So, and that's something I would pride myself on. I'd never like being the team that somebody has to wait on. That's like, you just will always want to be like ready to like set and just like not be, sometimes there's things that I have to do where it's like, it's going to take a little bit of time. So yes, you will be waiting on me, but like, you'll know it ahead of time.
And you're good at setting the right expectation. Like, this is going to take me 20 minutes.
Right, exactly. I'm like, okay, I have to totally like disassemble the camera and like make it something else.
Yeah.
Give me like a little bit.
Right.
Give them like an expectation on how long it's going to take, and
all right, let's we should talk about it. We should talk about it. I'll call you. We should talk about it. A little bit.
Should we?
A little bit.
I guess. I think it was just like it
was an anomaly. All right, I'm gonna.
Well, it was an interesting one for me too, being like an AD.
Yeah, but
not my thing.
No, but from my perspective, the week that we were shooting, I had to move out of my from one living situation to another, and on the first day of shooting, I was still like moving. Yeah, and came to set after finishing moving. And then
I remember that.
Yeah. And it's like no excuse for being a total dick. And especially when it's like someone that I feel really close to. Like, I just always feel bad about it. Like, it eats me alive all the time. And I'm sorry. I love you. I do.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Like,
it's not though. It's really not.
No, it's fine.
It's fine now, we've gotten over it, but it's like not okay to have situations like that. And I shouldn't have taken my stresses out on you. We should have canceled that shoot and done it later, and I should have gotten therapy, and then we should have gone back. But like,
that's not how it goes though.
No, I know, but then it's just
well,
I don't know. I don't know.
I guess
I don't.
You're just
and
lucky
on top
that
of everything else, I never use a first AD ever. True. Like, I never use a first AD. I wear like 7 hats on set. And so I was like, it was just a fucked up situation. And I'm sorry, I love you. And I'm always gonna say that.
We still, despite all that, we still like made something.
Movie's good.
And like, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Pretty good movie.
So I don't know. It's all part of the process, I guess, a little bit.
I know.
Everything's going to be different, and like, there's days where it's like super high stress and like you have other shit going on, and it can bleed into your work life as well.
Yeah.
That's just, it happens. So I guess you're lucky that I understand that.
Yeah.
That stuff happens. So it's like,
I guess I am lucky, but in my opinion, it just doesn't make it okay. That's all. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yes, I agree with you.
I saw your point at the time too. Like, I understood what you were like upset about
dealing with. And listen, the DP on that, I think, is very, very talented. I've said it before. Like, he's gonna get an Oscar someday. He's the next Deakins. He could be.
He
works really hard. He's really talented. Like, really talented. Like, talent that he doesn't know he has. That's really cool. Like, when you see something, you're like, oh fuck, you're gonna be really good, dude. Like,
Yeah.
But he was like 12. He was like a fucking 18-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, at the time, like, he was so young. And there's like, I put myself, and it's my fault. At the end of the day, it's my fault, because I put everybody in a situation where I'm dealing with super young people. We have no money, and we have no time, and we're just trying to shoot 11 pages at once. Like, that's the kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it paid off.
Yeah, but is that worth? But like, to me, that's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's not worth it to, like, even if the movie's really good, it's not worth it to, like, leave a set feeling like you have no friends because you were a dick to them. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
You're not the first person to, like, blow up on set, you know?
I know. I don't
People
fucking
do it.
care about them. I don't even, you know, I don't give a fuck about them. I'm talking about me and, like, my mindset toward the way that I would like to, because I'm
Right.
you know me, like, culturally or whatever you want to call it. Like, Colin, I'm big on family. Jaden used to make fun of me all the time because he would send me the Vin Diesel meme from Fast and Furious. I don't have friends, I have family.
Yeah.
Because I say shit like that. But it's the truth, though. Like, but part of that is because I don't like to, like, on the first day of a set, which is really never the time you should meet somebody for the first time. Like, there should be some pre-pro there, and you should meet everybody. But, like, you know, I don't want to, like, be figuring out who people are and all, like, I like to have the same people and make tons of different movies, you know? So it's like, I don't know. I just love you. That's all. I really do. I have so much respect for you. I'm so jealous of, like, your mentality and your, I said it to Sam, like, I jealous, but in a way that I'm, like, jealous of Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I mean by that is, like, I like, who wouldn't want to be like Leonardo DiCaprio? Like, I would love to be that. Like, that'd be cool. But I don't. But at the same time, I'm not. It's not like I'm not envious. I'm like, oh, like, you're so, like, I look up to you. Like, I'm like, oh, like, it might be so cool if I could, like, be even keel like Colin. I'm just not. I'm sure there are people.
Everybody is.
I'm sure there are people who are, like, very calm and quiet that wish they could be loud and, like, get to the point like me. I mean, I don't know, but
I mean, there's always, like, times where I feel like that, where I'm like, I wish I was more, like, you know, like, extroverted at times.
Sure. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. At the end of the day, like, as long as
like,
you know, that, like, I just had a lot going on.
Man, I understand.
I know you wouldn't be here today. I mean, this is like years ago we're talking about now at this point.
Exactly.
But it's a big deal. That's the thing, though. It weighs that much on me.
Yeah,
like,
you're still.
Oh yeah, I'll never be over it. I'll never be over it. If and when I win an Oscar someday,
I'm giving you permission to be over it.
I get it. Yeah. Thanks. Evan said something to me. I got to get Evan on the show. We have like stuff. Evan,
I would love to do one with Evan
too.
I would do it. I would do it with him if he did it.
That would be sick. When we were on the Critic,
we got a lot of stories. I feel like
when we were on the Critic, because I was an editor, but I was on set for the Critic, and, like, I ended up, like I usually do, wearing, like, 9 hats, like, doing a whole bunch of stuff on the Critic. And that was actually in between the first one and I'll Call You. The Critic came before I'll Call You.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Evan said something like, this person does this, and this person's doing that, and Nick, whatever he does. And the way he said it initially, I took it as, like, I'm not doing anything when I was doing 9 people's jobs.
Yeah.
And he didn't mean it that way.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, like, when it like came back around or whatever, and I was sarcastic, and I was like, oh, whatever I do, you know, I'm just here. And Evan was like, yo, I did not mean that like that. What are you talking about? I meant, like, I can't even put a name on you because you're doing so many things. That's what, you know what I mean? And I felt bad immediately because I'm like, fuck, I couldn't even think about the right way that this guy was talking. Like, I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? That's how I always am, like, very self-deprecating. You know? Yeah. It's always, like, my fault.
Like, dude, it's not.
I don't know.
Always. No.
You know what I mean, though? So,
I
love
know
Evan.
exactly what you mean, because I know plenty of people who think the same way. They think, like,
it's all my fault.
Yeah, or, like, you know, it's just like, no. It's
I just want to do so much, I would say. And I have so little funds and so little time and so little everything. And I feel like, you know, life is slipping away, and I'm going to be 95 years old being like, I could have made movies. And, like, I just want to make them all day, every day. Like, it's just what I want to do. You know, I love being on set. I love editing. I love it. Yeah. I really love it.
Oh, I love it too.
Yeah. But Evan's I've mentioned Evan every single episode, and I haven't talked to him yet about being on the show. We should have him on the show.
Yeah.
Evan,
so if you're listening, you should come on the show.
Evan should be listening.
Do it with you.
I hope he is listening. Evan, come on the show. Colin asked me to come on the show. But yeah, no, Kyle Gregory's coming on the show too in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Solo?
Yeah. I like the solo. Dude,
No,
when
it's
you
fun.
have like 4 people, you get like crosstalk and all this other shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I think our first Bluff Boys episode with all of us.
With all of you.
That was very chaotic.
Yeah. It was a good dynamic with the
It
2
was
people
fun.
and the producer. Because I was like off camera. And like it was really you two, and then I would have like a little bit to like throw in or something. But
Yeah.
it was really a conversation between the 2 people. It's fun. Like it's
Right.
good.
I actually really did enjoy making that podcast. And I do think we should do some more of it.
I don't see why not.
It was just a fun, like, creative idea.
Yeah.
Like, that brought me back to, like, being in college where I had, like, to do stuff. It had a deadline.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we gave ourselves a deadline. We said, like, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we did not stick to that. We stuck to it for the first 2, maybe? 2, 3? I don't know.
Well, shit happens, man. Like you can't, like
I-
you're working, like you can't,
I knew that going into it, and that was a busy.
and like availability
me.
of like the studio. Like if I'm working, like I can't. Sorry, like you know. And you'd come in on a Saturday and shoot like 3 episodes, and we'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, that's a lot. Like you know.
But yeah, because it was like a lot to make the trip up, and so we were just like, all right, let's just shoot like a few of them.
Andrew was really into that. He was really like he would call me twice a week. We'd be talking every
Yeah.
day. What are we gonna do with the podcast? How is this editing coming? Like he was,
Yo,
he was
yeah.
super into the podcast stuff.
He is the most like ride or die bluff boy there is.
Yeah,
You know, he puts
Yeah.
in a lot of work.
he really
for,
does.
for us. He does. Yeah.
It just himself in general.
Yeah.
Andrew's like, as dry as he is, and as much as he likes to put on a little bit of a facade. I mean, if you listen to that Lizzo episode, which you said you haven't listened to yet, which is fine. It's the first
That's
one.
the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't listened to that one yet.
I was borderline. I'll call you on him. Like I was actually
You're gonna
angry.
freak out.
I was fucking pissed, and
'Cause
I
he was
left
just-
it all in the episode.
Because he was just like fucking with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he like the second we stopped recording at the end of that episode, he goes, "So same time next week or?" He loves it,
Oh, of course he loves it.
you know. But like I was genuinely not happy.
Yeah.
Like even with the one with Brittany, like there was some moments in there where like we,
Yeah, you guys were both getting mad at him. It was great.
he
I
was like,
liked it.
I love the line. I gotta clip it when he was like, "I'm not mean." Like that's so good. I'm not being mean.
Yeah,
He's not. It's just
he's
that,
being a
like,
troll.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hardcore.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to like have a conversation. And then of course, like you said, you listened to the 2 of them, right? So his third one, right?
yeah, it got better.
Well, he starts talking at the end of it. He's like, "Oh, it's the worst episode."
Oh yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, you're only saying it's the worst because I like broke that like wall down, you know, a little bit.
yeah,
Stop playing up. It's not a bit. Like stop playing a part. Like just talk to me, man.
yeah.
That's what it is. And people like they like the trolling, and it's funny when I yell and scream sometimes. Like it is. I look back at that Lizzo
Yeah,
episode.
he was just trying to get some viral moments.
Yeah,
out
and
of
that's
you.
and like how could you be upset
Maybe-
at someone trying to make you famous? Like
Maybe I didn't try enough to get some viral moments out of you. You know,
what? Yeah, what today?
today.
I don't know.
But
We
I
don't.
don't
There's
care.
no time limit on it. Like you know, go ahead, get a
you
viral
won't.
moment out of me. I'm never gonna. I've made it a vow. I'm never gonna like yell at you ever again.
Question for you.
You ask me anything.
Do you have anything that you're like working on writing?
I have.
or like hoping to produce or
I have 4 scripts that I
Mhm.
wanted to shoot this summer. None of them got done.
shorts?
Yeah, they're all relatively. I think they're like 20 pages or less, 25 pages or less. I'm really not big on a 10-minute short, but then again, like
Yeah.
because of that, I always have programming issues in festivals and stuff.
Mm.
So like they never go anywhere. But I like a nice like half hour or less short, you know? Like that's a watchable short.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
a
true.
5-minute fucking film, Colin, is dog shit.
Yeah. I don't think you.
It's a YouTube video. It's not even
It's
a YouTube
just
video.
It's
you know?
it's like a clip at that point.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like everything I always try to write ends up being like a lot longer than I hope it is. I think a lot of people
Yeah.
experience that.
Yeah.
But everybody just says cut cut this, cut that, and like shorten it. You need to like get rid of this. Just like get to here quicker. It's just like, yeah, I guess, but
shoot it, but then it's in the edit. It's. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I feel like I said this on the last episode too. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. Just fucking don't even watch. Don't subscribe. Get out. You're gone. You're fired. But please subscribe. We need you.
But am I wrong? And
well, I feel like
there are some of the best things that have ever been made are like 3+ hours long. Like some of the best movies and stuff.
Hold on.
You know what I mean?
I don't disagree with you, but they're also done. Like if they left everything in there that is neat, that they shot, those movies would be like 6 hours long.
Well, that's true. Yeah, those movies as well have things that were cut.
Oh, you saw the Barbie movie, right?
I did see the Barbie movie.
Okay, so you know the part where Margot Robbie gets slapped on the ass? I just saw this on Instagram an hour before you got here.
Yeah.
When Margot Robbie gets slapped on the bum and turns around and punches the guy, Ryan Gosling, in the movie, he doesn't scream, but in the actual take, there's BTS footage of it. She gets slapped because it was shot from like a cell phone across the street of the shot happening. She gets slapped on the bum, turns around and punches the guy. He falls on the ground, and Ryan Gosling screams like a little girl.
Yeah.
And the caption on the video was, "I'm so pissed that Greta Gerwig didn't leave Ryan Gosling screaming there," because it's hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious.
I haven't seen that.
But like, I'll send it to you. But like, the fact that that's a thing is like, from Ryan Gosling's perspective. What if he was thinking in his head at the time, like, oh, that's so funny, I hope that gets left in there. And then he goes to watch the premiere and it's not in there. Like, I know you do that now. You do that now, but what I was going to ask is from the standpoint of, like, the reason for that whole preface is from the standpoint of somebody who spends the time setting up lights, setting up the camera, doing all these different things, shooting. The character is driving home, then we see him get out of the car and walk in. Like, does it actually do anything for the story, or can we see the character at work and cut and go to the character on the couch at home? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you shoot all the shit, you know? Those are the types of things I feel that, like, lengthen a movie unnecessarily and will keep you from getting festival runs.
I agree, and I think a lot of things that I've worked on, like, there are too many, like, you know, ins and outs, like them, like, entering or leaving. It's like, yeah, you can just cut to, like, something else where, like,
I can't believe
you can set it up so
it,
like, makes sense why you're there.
It's a good example of this, and it's a little bit with script writing, but it also has to do with shooting as well. But you just finished The Sopranos, right? You've never seen it before.
Yeah,
you watched the whole thing.
Finally watched it. It was great.
Yep. Tony, well, a lot of people. A lot of the characters on the show. But they say it's like one of the best written shows out there.
I would agree.
Right. They never say goodbye when they hang up the phone. Ever. I don't know if you noticed that or not. No one ever says, it doesn't matter who they're talking to, love you, bye. No one ever says that.
Yeah.
No one ever says that. In fact,
it's always the most dramatic way to say it. Or just like leave, just like not say anything, you know.
But it's also like, we don't need it. Like, just hang up and move on. Let's go to the next scene, you know? I will say that the times where it makes goodbyes way more impactful. Totally. So, like, spoilers, sorry for The Sopranos. If you haven't fucking seen it, came out 20 years ago. Grow up, you know? Fuck over yourself. When he says to Adriana on the phone, Tony, when he calls her and he says, because they're going to, like, they're going to get rid of her or whatever. But he calls her and says that Chris is in the hospital because he took a bunch of pills or something. And he says to her, he goes, I'll see you up there. I noticed that whenever he says, I'll see you up there, I think he means heaven. I don't know what he means. But it's like, that's Tony's, like, goodbye call to people.
Yeah.
And it's impactful because he never says goodbye. He never says goodbye and hangs up the phone. So when he says, when he takes an extra moment to say something like, as a goodbye in that space, it becomes like, well, we should pay attention. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great show, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what I liked a lot about it was all the, like, little things, like about their family life and stuff, like them, you know, saying some quick-witted things to each other, like to his kids and stuff, and them just, like, bickering, like, stuff like that just makes it a lot more relatable.
Yeah.
So I thought they did a really good job with all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it is a really good show.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. And you don't even have to be like from anywhere or from any specific heritage. Like, it just works.
Is that your favorite show?
Of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time.
It's up there for me.
I like the way it's written. I love the way it's shot. It reminds me of my family. It reminds me of like, it really does.
Yeah.
They shot that on film. Sopranos. Shot on film.
Yeah.
Like, it shot it like as if it was a movie.
Yeah.
It's like the first time. Like, we wouldn't have anything.
Like
we wouldn't have Breaking Bad. We wouldn't have anything without it.
Mm.
Set the standard. Changed television forever.
Yeah.
I like characters like that too. I was talking about this. I like characters that we're not supposed to like that we end up falling in love with. Like, he's a fucking serial killer, maniac, mobster, gangster.
Who are you talking about? Are you talking
Tony
about
Soprano.
Tony? Yeah, yeah.
We all love him. Love him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, would do anything for
We
him.
would die for him. It's like,
He's a fucking mob boss.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive that they're able to like do that. These characters.
That's what I like about movie making.
I liked Breaking Bad too for that. I liked Breaking Bad.
RJ, the other kid on the show that I do that sits there, the movie show that we do, long curly hair.
Yeah.
Loves Breaking Bad. He gives me shit all the time. He goes, "Oh, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about." He does all the time.
I like it. It's not my favorite show of all time, but it's, you know.
Well, you're just never gonna. I like a semblance
It's not better
of
than
reality.
Sopranos.
No. And Sopranos wouldn't be good if A&E made it. You know what I mean, or whatever made Breaking Bad. You know,
Yeah, AMC.
Yeah, like it's not. You're never gonna convince me that meth dealers don't say the F word. Sorry, like it's not real. It becomes like very.
Yeah,
and it kind of takes away from it.
I feel like I saw it on TV or something like recently, or somebody else was watching it, and there was just like a scene that just really wasn't like selling for me. But it was like, you know, because I watched that years ago.
Yeah, but Sopranos you could watch in 10 years and it'll still work for you. Like that came out in 98.
Yeah, that's kind of the difference, I think.
Yeah, it just works.
I also love The Wire. That was like
The Wire was good. Yeah, The Wire was good.
The best show ever, though.
Oh, here we go.
What
is it?
It's Planet Earth.
This is a documentary. That's not a show.
It is.
I mean, but like it's not. But it's not like a. Yeah, no, I know, but it's not like we're talking narrative work. All right,
it's the best.
Crouching Colin, hidden camera. That's like it's not like, you know. Like,
Planet Earth 2 is the best show that's ever been made.
Did you hear that
I was talking about it recently, and I was like, it really is.
You know,
good.
The British guy who does the
David Attenborough.
Yeah, he's 97. They just signed him again to do another Planet Earth. He's already started shooting. And he's already started recording his voiceover.
I thought I saw something that like there was a show that was like going to be like that was his last show or something.
Yeah. I just saw it yesterday.
Maybe that's what it was.
97 years old. He's signed up. He's already started shooting. Already started recording voiceover stuff for the next installment of Planet Earth.
So when's that going to come out? Though it's probably going to
when he's
come
103.
Out, yeah, that's going to come out in 10 years.
Yeah.
You know? No, it's
that's crazy though.
Yeah, that guy's a legend.
Great voice.
He does have a great voice and pretty cool like life. You know, just like being with animals and stuff.
You can't like see something like in the street. Like I don't know if you ever like are up in Maine or somewhere. If you see anything and you want to say in its natural habitat, you know, here we find. Like immediately you just start going into like that voice.
Yeah,
he has such an impact on culture.
Yeah, I always think about like if he narrated our lives, like human lives, you know,
that would be interesting.
It'd be like, I'm sure somebody's done it.
Here we find the Colin.
Yeah,
you remember back in the day before like Cameo and shit like that, celebrities used to like do voicemails or like impersonators. Like you can get like your voicemail done by a celebrity,
like the videos, like for people's birthdays and stuff.
Cameo, that's what they do now. That's like super big now. But like you can do, I don't know. I remember how people who would have like recordings of like you just reach Colin cell phone. This is Snoop Dogg, his butler. You know what I mean? I don't know, shit like that. People would do crazy stuff.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like he would have I would love to have his voice as my voicemail thing. You've now reached. You know?
You can probably do it with like AI.
Ugh. How do you feel about AI?
I don't love it.
Why? You're not wrong.
know.
Why? What's your thoughts on it?
I think there's like, I think it's funny, like some of the stuff that's being made.
Mm-hmm.
People using it in like a, creative way. I think it's funny. I don't know. I just don't love it.
I meant to talk to Sam about AI stuff because there's some.
Oh, you didn't talk to him about it?
Dude, we talked for 3 hours nonstop. That's
crazy. You didn't talk about it.
That's a hefty episode. That's
Yeah,
a hefty episode, and it's a good episode.
I'm sure.
It was a great episode, but neither of us shut up for 3 hours.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
It was good. He's the most talkative bluff boy.
Yeah, 100%.
But it was a lot about him, so I just kind of
Good.
sat here and listened.
That's good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like the next episode we do,
Mm-hmm.
I'll have something that we can watch,
Yeah,
pick it apart. It could be fun.
I really want to you got to shoot something for me.
Yeah.
So
Well, you have those 4 scripts. You
Yeah,
have
I
those
do.
4 scripts?
I do. I do have a ton. I do.
Yeah,
have tons.
I'll take a read at them.
But my shit is so I don't know, it's fucking depressing stuff. There's always
So what?
I want to do something that's kind of artsy, fartsy,
Yeah.
where
No, totally.
we do something ass backwards. Oppenheimer
think-
really fucking inspired me, man.
I really like that movie, actually.
Tell me
a
about
lot.
it. What'd you think?
Everybody
Everybody always wants to talk about Barbie, but I want to talk to DP about fucking Oppenheimer.
come
Come on,
it
boy.
was
Get on the show.
funny, after I watched that too, people were like, "Did that movie bug the crap out of you?" And I was like, "Huh?" They were like, because of all the focus. People said that there was a lot of shots that were out of focus or something.
What?
They were just on really tight lenses, It was like,
Yeah, with
was
probably really open apertures too.
sure, yeah, I always notice it, but it's it didn't bother me really. It's
Yeah. That's funny.
But I thought it was really good. I don't know. Christopher Nolan, he always has the most convoluted way of telling stories. I feel with all the jumps in time and all that,
Yeah.
it's never just
Linear.
yeah, it's never linear. So it can be hard to follow. I mean,
I don't
It
think he's going to
can
be
be.
insulted if you have an opinion. You can say
no, he's not
whatever
going
you
to listen to what I'm to
That's what I'm
say.
saying.
No,
you can say whatever you want.
No, I think I don't know. For some movies, some of his, because he does it with all of them.
I
For
will
some
say,
of his
I
movies,
have
it
hot
works
take.
a lot better than others.
I have a hot take.
And I thought he did a good job of it in this one
Yeah. This one wasn't that bad.
because, and I liked how the flash backwards
Mhm.
kind of that stuff was all in color, and then the more present
Mhm.
parts of it were in black and white. Whereas I don't know, I just feel usually it's the reverse,
Yeah.
where the flashback stuff is either black and white or washed out.
Right.
So I like that. That was a small thing.
Have you seen Memento?
Yes.
Not my favorite. It's
Not your favorite?
No, it's just
I liked it.
I
definitely liked it.
I liked it.
It's not my favorite movie
It's definitely
ever.
a hot take, but it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a little much. The non-linear, it's
Yeah,
a little much for me.
Oh, it's a lot, but I think it works. See, that movie for me, it works really well because it works with his character.
Oh, I'm not saying it doesn't
That's
work. It's just a little much.
he just forgets stuff.
Sometimes I'm saying if something's timeless, good. If you have the time to watch, obviously a lot of these 3-hour films, like The Godfather, though, there are lots of people who say The Godfather is the greatest movie. The first one, it's the greatest movie ever made, ever. Story wise, character wise, the greatest movie ever made. But it's 3 fucking hours long. So if you have I don't know, extra 90 minutes, 2 hours, you want to pop on a movie real quick before you got to get ready to go out, Godfather's not your bag. That's
No.
not. So it doesn't work for every situation. But a movie a Saturday afternoon, Memento is not you gotta watch Memento.
Yeah, you have to pay attention.
Right. So, and
I watched that. I actually saw that in like high school, I think. So
Really?
high school teacher showed it to us. I'm
Really?
pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure.
Seems rough for a high school movie.
I did take like a literature to film class. So I feel like it was there because I also watched like some of 2001. I don't think we finished it because it was actually I can't. I think we did watch all of it, but it was just broken up.
Some of these movies are so good. Like 2001 is so good, but it's so not good at the same time. Like
yeah,
it's a masterpiece. 2001's a masterpiece.
Yeah,
but it's like whenever you turn it on, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be here for a while. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
I went to see it in theaters.
See, that would be cool.
Like, yeah, that was because I was like, I'm not gonna like rewatch this in my living room.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
You know,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, if I'm gonna see it, like I go to Coolidge Corner a lot, the theater there.
Yeah,
and they play a lot of older movies and stuff, and
yeah,
things that I have seen, but like getting to see them on the big screen is appealing to me.
It's an event. Like I'm not gonna watch Oppenheimer like every Saturday when it comes out on Netflix. You know?
Oh yeah, no.
Did you watch?
I saw it in the IMAX theater in Reading.
I watched every frame of that movie. Like I was like,
oh, and the
like
sound,
right there,
like the sound in that
the
theater.
Butt kickers.
The butt kickers.
Yeah. Did you love the butt kickers?
Oh, I love the butt kickers.
That's so good.
That's what I'm paying for.
Right.
You know?
Kick my ass. You know, come on, Elliot. Kick
like,
my fucking ass.
These things are kicking my butt right now.
I love those scenes, even those little scenes with just like the little like things flying around, and they would just like
yeah.
So good.
Sick.
So good. So well done. It's just it was it's a masterpiece. That's a fucking
I think it was I don't want to like spoil anything.
It's made $1 billion. It hasn't even hit China yet. Everybody's seen it. You can say whatever you want. And this is the other thing that's cool. No, but I will say this really quick. It's a fucking biopic. Open a history book. The movie's ruined. So say whatever you want. Okay? Like it's like not a new thing.
No, but it's just the like the movie had a message, you know.
Did it?
I thought it did.
What was the message? What did you think the message was?
The line. It was one line about like them thinking that they made like a chain reaction that would destroy the world.
Yeah, it was Albert Einstein's line.
Right. So there was in the beginning.
You're like, I don't want to ruin it. I just ruined it. Go ahead.
In the beginning, yeah. Well, we're gonna cut this part, right?
Oh, okay. Go.
No, I meant one thing in the beginning when he said it, and then just like by the end of the movie, when they said it again, it just like hit so hard, you know, and they like the things that they showed when they said it the second time too were like really made you kind of think about it and like where we're at today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to say it without like saying too much.
Yeah.
But it's just like I liked how that line just had like one meaning in the beginning, and then by the end it had like it was still the same line, but it had a completely different meaning. So I thought that was a good they did a good job of like telling that story and like making it change over time.
You're talking about like that conversation that we don't find out the conversation till later.
Till the end.
Right. You're not talking about the now I am become death line.
No, it's not that line.
Right.
That's not what the movie's about. That's just like, yeah, I mean, obviously it's a very famous quote. But no, it was the line about creating a chain reaction that would destroy the world.
Right.
They say it in the beginning, they're like, well, you know, the whole thing where it's like it's basically, or it's like pretty much impossible
not to. And
they're like, you know, Matt Damon's like, or he's like, what's the percentage that it would happen? And he's like, 0 would be good.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a great line.
It's a good line. But
I like moments like that. It felt real. Felt sarcasm-y real. Like,
yeah, I just thought that was like a very impactful I thought that line was just very impactful in the end, at least for me. Maybe some other people didn't really care as much, but
no, it is impactful. You're absolutely right. I think, isn't it like, I like poking fun at the absurdity of life. Like, it's like, I'm total believer in it's all bullshit. It's all simulation. Like, it's all crap. Like, not a firm believer. Well, I'm not really one of those, but like, it just wouldn't. I guess here's where I'm at with it, right? Like, I don't obsess over it. I don't watch videos on it. I don't research the simulation. But I will say this: if I go however long I'm blessed to be on this earth, and then I like close my eyes and die, and 30 seconds later I open them up and I sit up out of one of those like avatar chambers, right? And it was all a simulation. It wouldn't fucking surprise me. I'd be like, yeah, thanks. Yeah,
you think you would brag about it?
Brag about my life?
No, like being right about it. Like if you woke up.
Well, no, because I feel like
you were proven right. Do you think you would brag about it?
Well, why would you?
Because you were right in that hypothetical situation.
Who would I brag to though? Other people?
I don't know. You're the one who believes in it, so I don't know.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is like I more envision it as like a video game kind of deal. Like it's like you would sit up out of this chamber and be like, wow, that was fucking crazy. Like imagine if there was like, if you're super rich, right?
Yeah.
And you can go and like, or maybe I'm like I don't know, like I'm some kid. Like, you know how like they say that you can have dreams? Like you can, like when you dream at night, you could dream for like years of a life. And it's in one night of sleep, I mean. You know,
yeah. Things happen very quickly.
Right. So what if all of this happens over the course like a couple hours or some shit? And then you wake up out of it and you go, wow, that is a good game, Elon. Like, that was good. Like, you know, I don't know, like, you know, or like.
I would play that again.
You know? Or like, you get up out of it and your little sister who you've never met before is like right there and they're like, oh, me next. Yeah, like,
you have to take a survey.
Right.
On what you thought about it.
I don't know. I feel like that's a good concept for a movie, though. Like, that there's.
Totally.
That there's like the simulation.
Oh, I mean.
Yeah, I know Matrix, but.
No, there's not as good of a movie. But in my opinion, at least.
What, Avatar? I fucking hate it.
Did you see that movie, Don't Worry, Darling? Do you know about that movie?
Yes. I fell asleep during it the first time. I watched it on HBO. On Max.
I didn't love it, but I did find like the whole thing that it was about like very interesting.
Yeah.
Like I thought that it was a good concept.
Right.
That was a good concept. I thought they missed the mark a little bit, the parts, but concept wise was good.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting.
Can I grab a water, but we can brainstorm?
Yeah, do you want to take a quick break?
I was just gonna grab a water bottle and come sit down.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Well,
we could keep talking,
well, yeah, this is what it is, though. That's my point. Like, it's all okay. So this, just to like give you, an idea, because I feel like, and maybe it's just Andrew, but correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like maybe a lot of people have this mentality. This isn't supposed to be an interview, and it's not supposed to be like characters. Like, you don't have to act like anyone except Colin. I want you to be Colin.
Yeah, I was thinking we would just chat like we normally do.
I was gonna say, like, this is just a recorded hangout sesh. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
You know? I yes, I wanted to do it one-on-one because it is somewhat important to, like, you know, dig a little bit deeper on some things, and like there are people that listen, and it'll be cool for people to learn some more about you that they didn't know. And I have to kind of get used to it for when I do talk with people that I don't know, but it is really just supposed to be like a basic fucking, like, whatever we would do if you were hanging out here anyway.
Yeah.
So take your clothes off and I'm just kidding.
There it is.
Yeah. Fuck you. That's gonna be a clip. That'll be an Instagram clip. But that's very much like us.
Yeah.
It's very much like me. Have someone have a little poignant moment and then just destroy it with comedy of some sort. But yeah, so we can brainstorm. We can do whatever you want, man.
Yeah, or I don't know.
Or we can chat. If you have something, talk to me. What do you got? We don't have to talk about anything. Like, just talk. Be like, hey, have you seen that thing? Like, so airlines. Like, I don't know. Like, say whatever you want.
Sorry, I was hoping you had something, to be honest.
What's another thing that I've been thinking about I want to do, completely separate from my artsy fartsy shit, is a slasher, like a crazy, like just like gallons of blood needed on set. Like you have to wrap the camera, like something like stupidly slasher horror.
Yeah.
Like Friday the 13th. Like,
so
would love that. Like cheesy.
Yeah. You know what's funny is like, I feel like
I was gonna make a joke.
I've worked on.
Go ahead, continue.
So many like things like that.
Really?
Like slasher, like horror.
Yeah.
Things like blood and gore and
but I want to make a good one.
No,
obviously it's gonna be a good one, but like
it's just I think that's been really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like, is like because horror stuff it's not really my cup of tea. I'm not a big horror movie guy.
I'm not either, but I can do it from behind the scenes. Like
I respect them. It's still like, it's just not my
style.
Yeah.
But it would be fun.
They are fun to make though.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about what I want to see. I'm saying what I want to make.
Well, I was just like, when I started doing them all the time, I was like, why does everybody want to make a friggin' horror movie or a slasher movie? Like, but then you do a few and you're like, okay, all right. Yeah, I guess it is fun.
Get the bug sprayer. Fill it with blood.
Like, all right, we're going to, like figure out how to like shoot the blood. Like,
that's cool.
No, it's like fun little things like that. Still don't like them, but
yeah, I think it'd be fun to make one. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to make. Like
I've never made one. They're not my style either, and I don't go out of my way to watch them.
I think it'd be fun to make like I love like horror comedy kind of things,
like Scary Movie.
Not so much that, but
it's more parody, I guess.
That's very parody, like Shaun of the Dead. It's one of my favorites.
That's okay. That's like what I'm talking about, though.
That's
I would make something like
that kind of thing is like very fun to me. I think that
it doesn't have to be like Scream, but it could be Scream if we made it like Shaun of the Dead Scream, like like Screamed, or like, like I don't know, like things
like that. There's also, have you ever seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
The only reason I've ever heard of that movie is because people tell me I look like Tyler Labine, which is he's in that film. And if we pull it up right, just wait.
But
I'm listening. Continue.
Oh, is he like
he's either Tucker or Dale?
Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about now. Like that movie is hilarious. I'll tell you about one Bluff Boys sketch, and let me know if you think it's a good idea.
Do I have to cut this, or can I leave it in?
We'll see.
Well, okay.
I don't know.
You've got 2 weeks to decide. So
no.
I'd like to keep one.
Leave it out.
Okay. Can we talk about that after then?
Okay.
Give me one that we can leave in. Like, I'll stop recording and you don't have to leave. Like, we can talk about other stuff too. But like, let's do one so that we can get to a closing. Because I'm literally gonna cut all of that out except for like when you went to the bathroom. We're gonna come back to like. Do you have an idea for something? Like that's where it's gonna go. So. Give me one where we can leave in, even if it's a shit one. Like, let's just talk. That's all probably going to get left in, by the way.
So, whatever. I'll just tell you about this idea.
Andrew's going to kill you.
It's not his idea. This is my idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, we're not making. I guarantee you, Andrew will be like, yeah, we're not making that now.
It's like a down the line kind of thing because we got to make Mustache Boys 3.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, yeah. We are gonna do that one.
Mm-hmm.
Who told you the idea for that, right?
Yeah.
I think this sketch will take place like after that, and like we just totally like ruin our own premiere. It's like filming the premiere of the movie. Like red carpet, everybody shows up and like, fill the theater.
Yeah. How would you ruin it though?
We're just like drunk at our own,
Yeah.
So, and we're also British.
Interesting twist.
Because like I just thought it would be funny if
You get up on the
if we were like,
excuse me, right? Thanks for coming.
like
if it was like the Bluff Boys were actually British,
that would be so funny.
like behind the scenes, you know.
I could.
Like I think
Andrew
that's
with
hilarious.
his circle sunglasses on, being British would be perfect,
dude. Yeah,
perfect.
and we just play like really eccentric, like
Right.
you know, we're like
welcome
movie,
to Mustache
yeah,
Boys
we're
3. Really excited that you can make it.
Like it'd be so good.
yeah,
That'd be so good.
but like at least just like one or all of us are just like a mess, and like you know, just ruining. The whole
falling
thing.
over.
Yeah,
drunk,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Can't even stand up. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it would be fun to just totally ruin our own premiere, and we're also just British.
The British thing makes it work.
That is really what it's all about.
Is being British.
Yeah, because there's so many British actors.
Yeah.
That
are drunk. Is that
no,
what you're
that just
saying?
like
Clip
play
it. I'm just kidding.
that play that play Americans.
Yeah.
And like I remember watching The Walking Dead. And, like everybody's like British in that show.
Or Australia.
Yeah.
In that range.
New Zealand or something.
Did you watch Succession?
No, I haven't watched that.
Oh, you'd like it, I think. It's good.
A lot of people recommended it to me, but
good.
I just haven't gotten around to it.
I'm not a fan of like writing as much as like making and editing.
You know, I mean, you take stuff from your own life sometimes. Like
but like this is it's a story about being a nutbag. It's basically
you should call it Nutbag.
That's actually really good.
Isn't there like a
It's
popular
about-
show called Fleabag or something? Or is that a movie? There's something called Fleabag. I think maybe it's a movie.
Nutbag would be good.
Nutbag is kind of a funny name.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a funny script. It's like it's I'll call you day 3. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No, because it's
the behind the scenes footage.
I really want to make it. I want to fuck with aspect ratios, and I want stuff that's like kind of conveys the artist, like what's going through his head and like why he takes things so personally and like that kind of shit. And I don't know how to even really rewrite the script in a non-linear. It doesn't even have to, linear just mean like story-wise, and that's fine too. But I want to have something where it's not like fuck the script. I don't even care if we shoot the actual script. Maybe it's in the editing, maybe it's in the cinematography, but it's like something where it has to be like I want Blonde with this script, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like something, or like even Maestro, or something like fucking different. I just want it to be not a regular fucking shoot. I want to have it, even though it's touchy subject matter and it's like super drama, I just want it to be like I want people to watch it and be like, what the fuck is this? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It's a little shock factor and
kind of.
the
It's
way
got to be
it's-
cast correctly because I'm not fucking acting in that shit. I have way too much
No.
trauma to relive that shit. Like I'm not doing that. You know? I'll
Yeah.
just yell at other people and say when it's wrong. Now, I will say I wanted to shoot it this summer, and I'm glad that I'm like way far away from it. Like I couldn't have made it right after the shit happened.
yeah.
With I'll call you, because it would have been a horrible set. I'm so far removed from it now that I could probably focus on it as a separate story.
Yeah.
And I think there's enough changes in it that like it wouldn't really, it's not even the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to be able to, I just want to be able to like get inside the head of the main character. Like if he feels alone, like let's say that like there's like a Thanksgiving dinner scene, right, with everybody there. And if he like feels alone, I want it to like cut to him alone at a Thanksgiving table.
Yeah.
Like
So
I
there's
wanna
like an
see
element.
visual shit that's like
Right.
in his head though.
So
you
like
know?
an element of like some surrealism.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to have like fun with it.
I actually love doing stuff like that.
Good. You're the first filmmaker person I've talked to about it.
Yeah. I mean,
Not like I want to
I
shop you
tried to
around.
and-
I'm saying like there's a reason I'm talking to you about it.
no,
Like,
I mean, like, I've always liked movies that did that.
yeah.
That didn't, you know, like keep it all real.
Yeah.
You know, like, and even just like literal like paintings, like other forms of art too. You
Yeah.
know, like Salvador Dali.
Love. Yeah.
Paintings are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I want. That's what I
And
want.
like,
And I want like film grain on some shit that's like I have this, I don't know where I'm drawing this like inspiration from. Maybe I'm just like seeing it. But
Yeah, I mean, I'll read it. I'll read anything you got for me. Like,
I know.
And I'll give my pitch on, and you can see if that lines up with what you want to do.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. I think my biggest problem is like I don't know what I want to do, and I won't know until I have like the footage.
Well,
maybe that's not true. Maybe I could storyboard it out.
Here's another thing: is like,
Just pull that in just a little bit closer. Just pull it a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could, I don't know, like sometimes I'm just able to give you like an idea of how you could hypothetically do something.
Mm-hmm.
Like how could we get a shot like that? And you have like visual effects experience.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's like, we could figure out a way to make any shot that we kind of have in mind,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's like a big part of it is knowing, like from my side, is knowing all the tools that are available to you. Like what kind of stuff you can
I have no tools.
Use and
using my tools.
What you have and like what you can get, and like or how you could improvise.
Well, that's cool. Yeah,
because that's one thing that I feel like I do well is like improvise on how to get something.
Yeah. Probably have Billy as a gaffer.
One of the better things that I've shot is something I shot in college. And
the snow thing?
The snow thing. Yeah.
See? I'm good.
Yeah, you know that one.
Yeah.
The opening shot, it's like the camera's like
in
way
a
overhead.
Tree. Yeah.
And I love that shot. It looks crazy.
It looks great. It's all white.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
And they just like walk through it.
Yeah.
So we had one take at that, which was interesting. That was cool. High pressure.
Kind of, yeah.
But it was, it was fine. They just had to walk.
Yeah, but like it's perfect. You have to you can't, if you do it like 3 times.
Yeah, we couldn't mess it up. So
right.
But yeah, they did it. And, but yeah, I mean, it was just like up on some bleachers.
That's cool.
Got that shot from like the top of these bleachers on like a baseball field. And then like.
You mean you didn't rent a techno crane?
Yeah.
Okay. And then just go
with my no money in college.
Well, that's like where I'm at right now, and it's this has to be that project.
But that's the thing. Like you just think about like, oh, how could we get it up that high?
Yeah.
You could. A lot of people just do a ladder. You put the camera on a ladder.
Yeah, if you got a big enough one or a tall
enough one. I've like set up shots where it's like we're on a 10-step or a 12-step and like just go all the way up there and like put a hi-hat on it.
Yeah.
And like secure it. And and you climb up the ladder with the camera. Yeah.
That's got to be scary.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's got to be done. So
yeah.
They're telling you to do it. So like that was one where I just felt like my writing, like the script kind of fell a little flat.
You were a college kid. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, it was
supposed to be Tarantino tomorrow? Like,
no, but it was just like, that was the kind of thing where it was like, you only had so much time to do it. So like I had to write the script really fast and then like do it. And yeah, I remember that snow shot.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of came to like the snow in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I really was not hoping for snow. And then, like, the day before we did that shoot, it snowed like 2 feet.
And you were like, wait, this is
and
perfect.
I was like, fuck. We had to we had to get there early and like shovel out. It's like an area for us to like put all our stuff.
Yeah.
And but I actually liked the way it looked, and
it looks great. So what's on
Yeah.
the horizon for Mr. Munson?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot going on, like work wise, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Things here and there. But yeah, I mean, so I guess just buckling down on my own stuff, like doing some writing and we got more Bluff Boys stuff, of course. Like
That'll
we
be
got
cool.
another
In a
video that's in the works.
couple episodes from now, we'll have all 3 Bluff Boys on. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
That'll
be chaos.
It's gonna be absolute chaos.
Yeah.
So be prepared, but it's gonna be fun.
It'll be a good time. Yeah. Just working on that stuff. I'm gonna read your scripts.
Definitely.
And then I don't know. Just take it from there.
That'll be cool.
I was hoping to make something like really small, like before the summer ended, but
Let's do it.
it's getting down to it.
So why don't we just
It's
do
like
it?
something like I wanted to shoot something like even just like one little scene on like my roof.
Oh,
I got a
okay.
nice like view of
You do.
the Boston skyline from there.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that would look so good. And I've just wanted to put it to screen on like, on something.
So let's do it.
Yeah. I've thought about it, but I haven't come up with anything that great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what
It's on the horizon.
is on the horizon. Yeah, exactly.
All right, I gotta
think about
do the basic outro stuff. Where can people follow you if they want to follow you?
I guess
Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram. At the Munson Burner.
The Munson Burner, best name on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally stole somebody's invention. Just made it your own. Mr. Bunson's probably not happy that it's called the Munson Burner. I don't know if he's even still around, but
You know.
it rhymes.
Yeah.
It doesn't rhyme.
works.
It rhymes with the original, but it makes sense.
It's just a good
It's a
name.
good Instagram
Yeah,
name.
that's-
It's a good Instagram name.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can follow Colin Munson at
Yeah.
the Munson Burner.
Yeah, you can follow Bluff Boys. as
Oh,
well.
Bluff Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it. It's like one of those things that I copy and paste into my descriptions now. Is follow at Bluff Boy Records
Yeah.
on YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah,
TikTok.
I think check out that podcast if you haven't.
Oh yeah, of course.
And the sketches that go with that. That was fun to make. Really just low stakes stuff, but it was fun.
Yeah, they are super fun,
So,
and it's a good podcast.
I do like the format of that podcast, so
Yeah.
I would do more of that. Probably talking to the guys and seeing if they want to do another one,
Yeah,
like another run at it. I think that would be something that's on the horizon.
thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Always, dude. I want you to
It's
come
fun.
back. I want to like make that movie and then talk about the making of that movie on the next one.
Yeah,
Like that'll be fun.
that would be fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to come back on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if you want to pair me with somebody.
I think
It's also
a
be
you
fun.
and Evan podcast would be a fucking dope podcast.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
We all have so many jokes. I've said this before on this show, and I've only done, this is like episode 12, but I love making Evan Schneider laugh. He has this like joyful little kid laugh where
Mhm.
he's like, ha ha ha. Like, he's so
Yeah.
funny to watch laugh.
Yeah,
But I love making him
I like
laugh,
making
so-
them laugh too.
Yeah.
When I can.
What a good guy. But yeah, no, that'll be fun. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. And yeah, like, subscribe, or don't. Either way.
Point here.
Yeah, that side, yeah. Yeah. You like that? You like those? Yeah, that'd be cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.